Welcome to Lighthouse Farm. We are new to gardening and farming alike, so come alongside as we journey through the highs and lows of learning to grow our own food. So yesterday we set up our greenhouse, and we set up some of our new seedlings inside of the greenhouse. Well, this morning, a really gnarly storm blew through, and the wind was like crazy, and it didn't blow it over, but the wind was blowing under the tarp of the greenhouse, and it was picking it up and shaking the racks. And then this happened. It dumped over. We had 3 trays full of seedlings, and it dumped them all over. Fortunately, my husband was gracious enough to go outside and in the rain, and he tried to salvage as much as possible, but you can see they're all like jacked up. But he did a really good job on trying to salvage them and keeping things in order as much as he could. But like, these leeks are not doing so hot. Where's another bad one?
The leeks are leaking.
There's a leak in the boat.
There's a leak in the boat. Ah!
These, I think this is calendula. Oops. I'm making a mess. So anyways, now we're trying to replant these. So what we're doing is going through in the cells that are really badly messed up. I'm just taking them out and then replanting them into a new one. So, which is something that I kind of wanted to do anyways once they sprouted. I wanted to go through and separate the ones that had more than one, because I really don't want to throw away seedlings, because that makes me sad, and I would rather just plant them if we have the space. So I'm going through and separating them, and I'm hoping that these 2 are what they say they are, but if not, we'll figure it out when they grow. So we got a fresh cell tray thing here. You want to poke your finger in it and make a hole? Yeah, poke your finger in it and make a hole. Let's do all of them, because we've got lots of peppers. We're gonna make in the center. Yeah, do it in the center. Like that, and like that. Okay, so we've got some holes in there. And then what we're gonna do with these daytail peppers, I don't know if that's how you say it, daytail or duttail, or what did you say it was? Datel? I don't know, I feel like daytail sounds the best. So now I'm gonna go through and just pinch these out. I'm pretty sure that these are the datel peppers. I'm not doing it right.
No, it was me.
So I got that out, and then I'm very gently gonna pull these apart. I'm making a very big mess. And then I'll plant these into their individual cells. So I already put the hole in there. I'll just drop them in there, and then
drop it in
there, like that. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
Lemon squeezy.
Yep. So I'll show you what it's like when I'm all done. So we've got a lot of trays. We've got this one, this is a full one, and then we've got another full one, and like a half of one that we have to do. So it's a lot of work. It'll be fun.
It will be fun.
It'll be fun. It's like a party.
It's like a doo-doo.
So I wasn't able to get much done yesterday, but I'm gonna go ahead and try to finish up a lot of this today. Right now the baby is napping, and Daddy and Henley are pretend baking something. So we're gonna see how much we can get done. kitchen. It's a lot easier to do it in here as opposed to out in the shop or outside because the baby's asleep. She has all of her toys and stuff in here, and it's a lot cooler in here, so everybody stays cool and happy. Otherwise, I think it would just be a mess if we tried to do this all outside. Sometimes we do this stuff outside, but for the most part, especially while the baby's sleeping, it's just much easier to do it in here. It does make a really giant mess in my kitchen, but messes are fun, right?
Yeah. Messes are fun, huh?
Yeah.
Guys?
Hi guys, messes are fun.
Messes are fun, Mama.
Mm-hmm. I just don't really like cleaning up messes, but they're fun to make.
It's fun to make messes and clean up messes. I love cleaning up messes.
This bell pepper really wasn't that bad. I could just press everything back down in there, but as I mentioned before, I wanted to separate some of these once they germinated, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do it now since I'm doing it, like since I have to try to fix these anyways. Something to note, which I didn't do before because I didn't really think about it, was you can go through and seed one cell really heavily instead of seeding like 1 or 2 per cell just to save space. So this year is all about experimenting for us. So how I've always started seed, I say always, I've started seed like 2 other times in my life. But I would go through with these seed trays and I would do 2 to 3 seeds per tray, or per cell, sorry. Once they sprouted, I would go through and pinch off 1 or 2 or however many grew so that there was only 1 per cell. But then I'm wasting all that seed and it makes me really sad. So what I would prefer to do is, which I'm gonna do later on today when we sow a bunch more seeds, I'm going to, I don't know what the term is, but I'm gonna sow multiple seeds in one cell. I'm actually gonna use the cells that are a little bit bigger than these. You can also use red Solo cups or any plastic cup. That's what I've used, and I've been reusing those. This will be my 2nd or 3rd time to reuse those, so I'm not just wasting plastic. It's the same thing with these. I'll just reuse them. Anyways, so I'll go through and put like, I don't know, 10 to 20 seeds in one cell. And then once they germinate, I'll pluck them out and put them into their own cell. And initially that'll save me some space. And then I won't be doing what I'm doing right now and having to go through each cell and prick them apart. I'll just have one. We're just winging it this year and seeing what happens. I really feel like that's all gardening is just kind of winging it. Or at least for me. Kind of like parenting, raising children. Huh? We just wing it. How's that working out for you, Henny? She said it's not. I should probably be doing these in the bigger cells, but I didn't think about it until just now, so it is what it is. Winging it, that's what we do. So something else I'm doing is experimenting with different seed starting methods as far as, well, seed starting soils, I guess you could say. Most of the stuff that I've read is like, get a seed starting mix and then sterilize it, or sometimes they come sterilized and you don't have to sterilize it. And there's a lot of information out there. And our goal this year is to just kind of test a lot of stuff. Well, a lot of stuff for me. And see what works and what doesn't. So I've started some of these seeds in seed starting mix, like an organic seed starting mix. I've started seeds in an organic potting mix. And then I've started some well, I haven't started them yet. I'm going to start some seeds in straight compost. And I'm gonna mix in some vermiculite to help with the drainage. We're doing the no-dig method of farming or vegetable growing, whatever we're doing here. Charles Dowding is who we've been following and researching his methods, and he uses straight compost. He's got tons of YouTube videos on all things no-dig, so from seed starting to actually building your compost and ways to harvest things, ways to seed things. He's got lots of videos. He is so knowledgeable in this. So I recommend, if you haven't watched any of his videos and you want to do the no-dig method, check him out. One of the things he does is he uses his own compost. He uses different compost that he's purchased from different places. He tests a lot of things out and then lets you know how things do. So one of the things that he does is he uses his own compost mix to start his seedlings, and he mixes it with vermiculite. And you can see in some of his videos, he actually shows you the yields and he compares like his stuff to other people's stuff. So anyways, that's kind of what we're doing, just to see how it goes, see what works, see what doesn't. So all of this, I have it written down, but some of this stuff, again, was started in a straight seed starting mix. And then some of it was a potting mix. And then some of it, well, next week, some of it will be compost mixed with some vermiculite. And then I may mix in some other stuff, like mix compost and a seed starting mix together. I don't know. We're going to see how it works out and just kind of keep going from there. And I had no idea that if you just let an artichoke go, it turns into the most beautiful flower. So we're going to let some of these continue to grow into a flower. I'm super excited to see it in person. I've never seen them in person. I've only seen them online. But they're so pretty. If you've never seen it, Google it. We love artichokes. We were in California visiting, my husband's from California. We were in California visiting family, and my husband was like, hey, find us a restaurant to go to. I think we were in, I want to say we were driving through Santa Maria, maybe. I don't know. We were driving through somewhere, and I Googled, restaurants, and I found this Italian restaurant, had great reviews. So we went there. It was, it was not in a good part of town. It looked really sketch. And we got there and we were like, are we really gonna eat here? And the restaurant itself looked awful on the outside, but there were a bunch of cars in the parking lot. So I was like, well, it's got good reviews. There's a bunch of cars in the parking lot. Like, let's give it a shot, see what happens. So we went in, and the inside of the restaurant was pretty well taken care of. I mean, it was old, but whatever, like it was nice. And we sit down to eat. Y'all, the best Italian food I think I've ever eaten. It was phenomenal. But one of the things that they had on their menu as their appetizer was artichokes. I've only ever had artichokes boiled, and then you pick them off, like pick off each little leaf, and you know, I usually dip it in mayonnaise because it's delicious. Or you can dip it in like a, my husband makes like a balsamic like mixture with some herbs in it and stuff. You can dip it in that too. It's really good. So anyways, that's the only way I've ever had artichokes. Well, they had grilled artichokes. So we were like, oh, let's try this. And it came with like some chipotle aioli or something. Y'all, it was so, so good. And ever since then, when we have artichokes, that's how my husband does the artichokes. He does boil them first, and then he'll cut them in half, and you'll have to ask him what he puts on it. I don't know, but he puts olive oil on it, and then I know crushed red pepper is one of the things that he puts some different herbs and stuff on it, and then he'll take it out to the grill and grill it. So, so good. Like, you will never have a better way of eating artichokes. But to be fair, I've only had artichokes grilled and boiled, so I don't know. But if you guys have any other tips on how to cook artichokes, let me know if it's different than those two ways. But those, oh my gosh, they are so good. Now, I have run out of large cells. I've run out of these. So I'm gonna switch to trying to fix my little guys again. Ooh, these held up pretty well. These are romaine. In another video that I did, I showed some romaine that I planted. It was the very first thing romaine that I planted, and it was super leggy. They're like this long. But these guys are actually looking really nice. I planted these like 2 weeks after those, and these guys are looking really, really nice. So that's exciting. But I did multi-sow these, so I'm gonna try to separate them. I've got 6 plants here, I think. I have 8 plants here. I'm gonna try to break these apart and put them in smaller cells and see what happens. Oh, here it is. These are my super leggy romaines. These were done 2 weeks before these. They haven't been thinned out or anything. So I'll do that now after I find my marker. The reason I am trying different soil starting mixes is because I'm trying to avoid using fertilizers as much as I can, or really any extra steps I'm trying to avoid. So, in using a seed starting mix, like one that you buy at the store, just that's labeled seed starting mix, there are no like extra nutrients in them, from what I understand. I could be wrong. If I am, let me know. But from different people that I follow and different research and reading that I've done, there's no nutrients in them. Now, when your seed is still a teeny little seed and it sprouts up to be a seedling like this, it doesn't need any additional nutrients because all the nutrients it needs was within that seed hole. Right? So we're good right here. When your seeds start to produce their true leaves, or when your plants start to produce their true leaves, that's these. See, these don't really look like anything, right? Like they've got soft edges or straight edges. I don't know what you would call that. But then the true leaves start to come out. When the true leaves come out, that's when they suggest you start fertilizing your plants. Well, what I read was that you can avoid doing that if you get a potting mix, because a potting mix actually has nutrients in it. And then also compost. Compost is full of nutrients. So that's why I'm testing out these different theories. Because again, like, we're busy. I stay home full time with these two girls. My husband works full time. We're trying to stand up a garden. Eventually we'll put some chickens out here. Eventually we'd like to get some sheep. There's a lot going on. We have 2 dogs. There's a lot going on. So if I can simplify this as much as possible, that's what I'm going to do. So like Charles Dowding, when I've seen his videos and things, he literally just uses the compost and that's it. He doesn't fertilize them with a fertilizer. He doesn't feed them anything else. He just uses the nutrients that's in the compost to feed his plants. So if I can cut down on extra work as much as possible, that's what I'm going to do. So that's why I'm trying out these different theories. Hey! So we're walking out to show you guys the greenhouse. We finished fixing our seedlings, and then the few things that needed to be potted up we did. And I wanted to show you real quick the greenhouse. Henley's, what are you doing, baby? She's walking her alligator. She's so cute. Okay, so this is where we have them right now. Yesterday we had them, so we had them way out there by the garden. You can see the pipe fence out there. They were up against the pipe fence, and then we had rocks weighing it down, but that wind was so strong, like it was crazy. These trees were like bending, obviously not literally, but they were swaying pretty hard. It was insane how strong the wind was. So anyways, we moved them over here. A, we wanted to provide some shade for them, but B, we wanted to provide some shelter or blockage from the wind, I guess you could say. Okay, we're in. Are we in your greenhouse? Yeah? Are we in your greenhouse? Okay. So I'm terrified to put them on the shelves because I don't want it to happen again. So I put them on the floor, but I've got it weighted down. I've got rocks all around the inside, like on the frame, and then I've got rocks. Okay, I've got bricks laying around the outside along the plastic to keep wind from like getting under it and picking it up. So anyways, I do have this one on the shelf. I think I'm gonna move it down though before we go back inside. So this does get quite a bit of sun in the morning in this location, and then early afternoon, or I guess mid-afternoon, this building provides some shade for it. So A, it doesn't get too hot, but B, I don't want to bake my seedlings because it's not good for anybody. Huh? Who's that good for?
You.
All right, well, that was our adventure of the greenhouse. So hopefully this works out a little better. I'm totally new to this greenhouse thing. To be fair, I'm new to it all, but I've always started seed indoors. So we have an aeroponic system. It's one of those tower garden things, and we use lights for that because we kept it indoors because we bought it when we lived in an apartment and couldn't really grow anything outside. So that's like my go-to. Like, I know how to start seed indoors under lights, but I don't know how to start seed or how to keep plants in a greenhouse. So clearly where I had it was not a good location for it, but I'm learning. You guys are learning. So if you get a greenhouse like this that isn't terribly heavy, you really have to, oh, are you okay?
Molly's coming
Oh,
in.
Molly.
What?
Molly's in the greenhouse. Molly. She's too big for this. Okay. This is way too small for all of us to be in here. Get out, Molly. I don't know why I talked to Molly. Molly's deaf. Oh, no! And Molly just stepped on her seeds. But it's okay. We fixed it. Did we fix it? Molly is not allowed in the greenhouse. Neither is Luna. Okay, so anyways, lesson learned. Thanks for joining us on our adventures. You want to say bye, Henley?
What were we saying bye?
You just say bye. Say thanks for joining us on our adventure.
Thank you for joining us on our bench. Bye.